It is an honor for me to be here. I'm Leora Levy. I'm the RNC National Committee woman from Connecticut, and I represent all of you on the RNC. And I'm very honored to be here this morning. Our town of Greenwich is a beautiful mosaic comprised of people from different cultures, traditions, and philosophies who are bound together by the desire to live here, raise their children here, and to contribute to maintaining and enhancing what is so special about Greenwich. It is no accident that the 19th century American Impressionists chose Cos Cob as their center, for we are blessed by God with the natural beauty of our landscape and surroundings, but also with a unique and providential location. In today's Greenwich, our entire town is like an Impressionist painting. There are many different individual strokes, vivid colors that might seem to clash. But if you look at them as a complete picture, a magnificent scene, a work of art, and a successful, unified community results. In our town, much is accomplished by volunteers who work diligently on town boards and commissions, as well as on philanthropic boards and committees, without regard for political views. The focus of the members of these committees and boards is what is best for the people of Greenwich. It is part of what makes Greenwich so exceptional, and it is what we desire from our elected officials after a hard-fought campaign and election as well. Bipartisan comedy and collegiality. There are issues on the horizon that will threaten the quality of life in Greenwich. The nature of our downtown area, the pristine beauty and sanctity of Bruce Park, and even the safety in downtown Greenwich. And I urge our incoming selectmen, the incoming members of the RTM, all the relevant boards and commission members, and all citizens to work together to make sure that does not happen. The Eversource substation and the high-speed train from New Rochelle to Greens Farm plans are attempts by unelected outsiders to impose projects on us that will adversely affect and threaten our town. These efforts should serve to focus us and to rally us to action, to work together to protect our community so that Greenwich will remain the extraordinary place we all know and love for our children, for theirs, and for generations to come. And I now ask you to stand for the processional of the colors. And I call on our own Ruby Durant to come and lead us in the national anthem. This is just in case I get lost. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? That's it? Okay.
Thank you, Ruby. And if you remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Oops.
Forward.
And as they leave, I would like to thank all the members of our first responders for what they do for our town and for keeping us safe. I now call upon the Reverend Richard Murphy from St. Michael the Archangel Parish to deliver the invocation. Thank you.
Heavenly Father, you tell us in your word that unless the Lord builds the house, in vain we labor. Dear Lord, we ask your grace and blessing in all that we do, that we may not labor in vain. As we build the houses of our families, our congregations, our towns and our nation and our world. On this day, as we recognize you're calling forth those to serve your people of Greenwich, we ask your grace and blessing upon them and all who serve your people throughout this town and everywhere. Almighty and eternal God, you have revealed your glory to all nations, God of power and might, wisdom and justice. Through you, authority is rightly administered, laws are enacted, and judgment is decreed. We commend to you, to your unbounded mercy, all the citizens, that we may be blessed in the knowledge and sanctified in the observance of your holy law. May we be preserved in union and that peace which the world cannot give, and after enjoying blessings in this life, be admitted to your kingdom. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Thank you, Reverend. And I would also like to acknowledge our some town dignitaries who are here. Former Selectman Drew Marzullo, former First Selectman Dick Bergstrasser, former First Selectman Jim Lash. I can't see. I'm hoping, oh, there's Freddie Camillo, our representative. Sorry. Livy Flora, I'm coming. Livy Florin, our state representative, and Mike Bacino, as well as Senator Scott France. Also, former Selectman Peter Crumbine, former First Selectman Roger Pearson, and former First Selectman John Margonaut. Oh, thank you. Also, former Select Women, Penny Monahan and Lynn Lavery. And if I were taller, I would have seen them. I'm sorry. So as we proceed to the real reason that we are here, I would like to congratulate personally the 3 incoming selectmen and thank them for their service to our town. I know this comes at great personal sacrifice and dedication, and I would like to also welcome and thank their families for lending them to our town, because it's also a sacrifice for the families. So thank you very much. And so I would like to invite Attorney Jill Bix to come up and to proceed with swearing in our selectman, Sanford's Sandy Litvak.
Do you, Sandy Litvak, solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution and statutes of the State of Connecticut, and the laws and ordinances of the Town of Greenwich, and to faithfully discharge your duties as Selectman of the Town of Greenwich according to law and to the best of your ability, so help you God? Congratulations and good luck.
And now I would ask our town clerk, Carmela Budkins, to come up and swear in John Toner, Selectman John Toner. Oh, you have remarks. You're right. I'm sorry. It's my first time. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
We're both freshmen.
That's right. Excuse me.
Thank you. I don't have any prepared remarks, despite my wife's admonition that I should. And that's not because I don't always listen to her, although she would say I don't. But I did want to just take a moment to do what the kids call living in the moment and just talk about some things that occur to me as I stand here without having anything prepared to tell you in particular. I want to thank everybody. It probably goes without saying, but I do want to say it. I appreciate the support that I've received. It's beyond anything from so many of you that I could have imagined. Second, I want to say that I started this run in July, and I did it for a reason. And the reason was because I believed, and I still do believe, that I can bring to the town of Greenwich skills, experiences, and a point of view that is different than what has been before me. I intend to do that. I want to thank the people who have supported me. I want to thank Peter and John Toner, who have been nothing but gracious in these last few weeks. I look forward to working with them. I look forward to working with the people who work in this town, who contribute so much. I think the fact is that we will, because in every job I've ever been in, it has been true, we will have disagreements. We will not always agree, and I will always speak up. My experiences are such that I think I can offer something to Greenwich. My door is open. You know, I guess every politician says that, and I guess I'm now a politician. My door is open. My door was open at the Department of Justice. My door was open at Disney. I listen. I may or may not always do what people want, but I listen. And the other thing I do, and it's a luxury, I said this on the campaign trail, I'm going to repeat it now. One of the few benefits of getting older is you reach a point at which you can just do the right thing, whatever you think is the right thing. I may be wrong, but I'll always do what I think is the right thing. I will always listen to you and try to do what you want. And that leads me to one final point that I want to make. I said it during the campaign. I know that Peter and John agree with me. If not as to the source, as to which we may disagree, at least as to the ultimate outcome. And that is this. I've said on the campaign trail, and I believe, and I don't walk away from it, that we have had a very, very bad discourse in this country. And I have said, and I believe, it emanates from one place and one place only. And there's a lack of civility and respect. Without regard to whether people agree on that or disagree on that, I think we all agree that that must be kept out of Greenwich. We can disagree, and we will disagree. We can do it without being disagreeable. And that's what we must do. Let me end with one little sort of funny story. The night I was nominated, Joe Kantorski came to me afterwards and said, you know, nobody in town knows you. My voting record, by the way, proves that. So he said, we ought to have a campaign to get you known. Why don't we do a Sandy who? Like Sandy Weil, Sandy Bernstein, Sandy Koufax. I'm afraid you ended up with Sandy Litvack. I'm sorry, but thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. And now I call upon Carmela Budkins to come and swear in John Toner, and then John will make his remarks.
Please raise your right hand. Do you, John F. Toner, solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution and statutes of the state of Connecticut and the laws and ordinances of the town of Greenwich, and to faithfully discharge your duties as Selectman of the town of Greenwich according to law and to the best of your ability, so help you God? I do. Congratulations.
Good morning, friends. Thank you all for coming this bright and beautiful morning. As I begin the second term as a member of the Board of Selectmen, I was thinking back over the last 3 years. They began tragically with the passing of David Tice and my being appointed to this position. As time has passed, I have found the job of Selectman to be fulfilling, as I've been able to work my way into so many organizations in lives in this my native town, and it has been good. Today we have a new board which I am joining. I consider myself fortunate to continue to serve with First Selectman Peter Tessie, and I look forward, as I told him when I first met him, to Sanford, to working with and getting to know him in the future. The new term finds the town of Greenwich in good shape, financially and physically. It continues to be the premier community it has the reputation for, with its excellent schools, parks, roads, and facilities. I thank the many people that work for the town and the job that they do. My intention is to continue to work with the boards, commissions, and organizations that I have in the past, and to take on new roles as they arise. Most notably, I will join the new Lebanon Building Committee on an ex officio basis. This is very appropriate, as I spend a lot of time at the Byram Library and feel that I have become part of that village. Again, my thanks for coming to share this day with us, and know that, like Sandy, I am only a phone call away. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And now I will call up former first, oh, who is doing this? She's not here. Carmela, you're doing, okay, sorry. Carmela Budkins once again to swear in First Selectman Peter J. Tessie for his 6th term. Thank you. Then his remarks.
Okay. Do you, Peter J. Tessie, solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution and statutes of the state of Connecticut, and the laws and ordinances of the town of Greenwich, and to faithfully discharge your duties as First Selectman of the town of Greenwich according to law and to the best of your abilities, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Good morning, and thank you all for joining us as we embark on our new term as Greenwich's Board of Selectmen. I remain humbled and thankful to the citizens of the town of Greenwich for once again placing their trust and confidence in me by allowing me to serve a 6th term. For the last 6 years, I have focused our branding of what we do with and for our citizens. We put Greenwich first, and I look forward to growing that with my fellow selectmen, John and Sandy, during the next 2 years. It is an honor to continue to work with those in the appointed and volunteer officers of our local government who provide the essential services and all of our residents need. Some of these services are provided by a myriad of nonprofit agencies whose dedicated staff partner with us on a daily basis. Together, we can continue to maintain Greenwich's place on the map as the premier municipality to live, work, and raise a family. Speaking of family, I would not be able to continue to work for the 62,000 who call Greenwich home without the unwavering support of my family. My wife, Jill, and our 2 children, Caroline and James, who are in class today rather than be with us here. I think that was the right decision. I also want to thank my parents, Ann and Nate, whose dedication to family and hard work throughout their lives provided me the principled foundation to strive to achieve my goals and dreams and do the best I possibly can. And my mom is here in the front row. My dad is in the office due to a medical thing, so he's watching from inside. And I'm all about full disclosure. She probably didn't want me to tell you that, but I thank the dedicated professional staff of the Selectmen's Office. It is comprised of what I like to describe as the Triple B. Town Administrator Ben Brannion, Senior Management Analyst Blaise Leviton, and Executive Assistant Barbara Hines. They are ably supported by Josephine Sargent and longtime staff assistant Paula Belmont, who is the grande dame of all things Greenwich and keeps all of us in our place. We are a community with diverse needs and commitments. I believe we are meeting those needs through the commitments made every day by our town staff and community volunteers. Our public-private partnerships in our community are successful. Our 2016 Greenwich Resident Satisfaction Survey proved that residents give high marks for the essential services they receive on a daily basis. SafeWise ranked Greenwich as the #1 safest community to raise a child in America. And I want to acknowledge our first responders and those that support the first responders in health and in recreation for allowing us to achieve that attainment. Thank you very much. Our schools are consistently ranked among the top in Connecticut, and Greenwich has been rated as a top community to retire in the state. As this new board begins its journey, I look forward to working collaboratively and collegially in a civil and respectful manner to fulfill our objectives of keeping Greenwich a desirable community. We will continue to ensure we provide our residents a shared vision about what is important to us. Greenwich is financially sound, as evidence that we were able to withstand the loss of state aid created by this year's historic budget impasse in Hartford. We were able to produce a budget with a tax increase that was the lowest in decades. We continue to plan investment in our infrastructure, be it our schools, our roads, our public parks, and our sewers. We continue to face financial challenges as we maintain our facilities and broaden those horizons to meet new community needs. I intend to do so by continuing with our prudent practice of pay-as-you-go. As we look to the future, there is still much to be done. Greenwich has taken on the mantle of environmental stewardship. I am proud that our town, through the Conservation and Shellfish Commissions, has partnered with my alma mater, and Sandy's too, the University of Connecticut, for a long-term marine study that will leverage an understanding of the terrestrial and estuarine environment associated with Long Island Sound and the challenges of managing it wisely in light of global change. Our pristine harbors along Long Island Sound are prime locations to be enhanced for commercial aquaculture. Business development downtown is a key focal point to our future. We are beginning the process of engaging the community to participate in the 2019 Plan of Conservation and Development. It is an exciting time to be able to look to the future and develop solutions to keep our downtown vibrant and a key destination for culture, the arts, dining, entertainment, shopping, and living. One of the keys to livability in Greenwich is our schools. We continue to work with citizens to address some of the issues involving the need for our growing athletic facilities to meet the needs of our students. Speaking of students and the community needs, next week, December 7th, we'll be breaking ground for the new New Lebanon School. That will be a watershed event for the community of Byram, and I want to applaud all those who really worked hard to make that happen. We are continuing to work with our schools and human service agencies, the police, to address the burgeoning problem of addictive prescription drugs and painkillers that is threatening the future of our youngest residents. As we continue to improve the efficiency of town government through technology, I'm happy to report that we are on target to complete a total rebuilding of the town website. This will help improve the customer experience, the experience that you, the taxpayer and resident, will have when you need to conduct business with our town. Greenwich's horizon also includes issues that we will continue to fight to protect the town residents, infrastructure, and vast resources. We are poised to continue our steadfast opposition to Eversource with its plans to build a new downtown substation with a 2.3-mile route of underground transmission lines from Coscob to Railroad Avenue. We are also working with the Connecticut Historic Trust and the Greenwich Preservation Trust to oppose the Federal Railway Administration's proposal to expand rail service in the area, including building rail lines between New Rochelle and Green Farms. In its path are many of Greenwich's beloved cultural and historic institutions and neighborhoods. In closing today, I want to thank all of you for attending the ceremony. Your support is appreciated not only today, but throughout the course of the next 2 years. And as we are in the holiday season, I'd just like to wish you and your families a blessed holiday and good health and prosperity in 2018. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. And thank you again to Peter, John, and Sandy. We are very excited about your leadership for the coming year. Thank you. I now call upon Rabbi Yosef Darren of Chabad of Greenwich to give the benediction.
Thank you, Leora. Peter, you said it was the right decision not to bring your kids here today. I'm not sure their grandmother thinks that it was a good decision. Which reminds me, I have to repeat what I told you last time from my own personal family experience. You know why grandparents and grandchildren get along so well? Because they share a common enemy. And so, my dear friends, let us turn to God and ask for his blessings. As we have now seen, Sandy, John, and Peter sworn into office as they pledge to sustain and enhance the quality of life for every man, woman, and child in this beautiful town of Greenwich. We ask God to rain his blessings down upon all of us. And as it is with literal rain, that the blessing will only be fulfilled when we plow the earth, so it is with the figurative blessings. If we wish to see success, then we all must bring those blessings about through our own pledge to each other and to the entire universe, to the family of humanity, to those of any religion and those of no religion. that we will all together work to make this world a better place. Amen. So may it be his will.
Thank you, Rabbi Darren. And as we close, I would like to, one, wish everyone an upcoming Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas and all the best for a wonderful, successful, healthy, and prosperous New Year. I'd like to thank you for attending. I would like to point out that our State Senator Scott France is here, in fact. That's absolutely right. And our former state senator, Bill Nickerson, is right there. And because I'm so vertically challenged, I didn't see him from here initially. But thank you for coming. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Before we adjourn and meet with our Board of Selectmen and other elected officials, please join Ruby Durant in singing God Bless America. Ruby?
Thank you. I'm so excited about today. Oops. Okay. Thank you. Please join me. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains, through the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you. Thank you. Good job.
I did. Don't worry. Oh, I thought I did. Is there another list? I read the list that she gave me. That's it. Oh, there is another list. So I would like to congratulate our newly elected officials, Town Clerk Carmela Budkins, Tax Collector Howard Richmond. Let's hold the applause for the end, because there are a lot of them. Board of Estimate and Taxation, Bill Drake, Andy Deuce, Karen Fasiliotis, Deborah Hess, Elizabeth Crumreich, Michael Mason, Leslie Moriarty, Jill Oberlander, Jeffrey Raymer, Leslie Tarkington, Tony Turner, and David Weisbrod. On the Board of Education, Peter Bernstein, Megan Olson, Peter Scher, and Kathleen Jordan Stowe. Board of Assessment and Appeals, Jack Kriske, Mary McNamee, Mark Pruner, Jeff Reardon, and Lawrence Simon. Constables, James Fahey, Donna Maloney, Philip Michael Pitoko, Seagram K. Potkin, and if I've mispronounced your names, I apologize. It's the first time I've seen the list. Don Romeo, Tony Stelluti, and John J. Thompson. I'd also like to congratulate all the members of the RTM who will be serving for the coming year. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here with you.